Hello, Simply Grace and Grit. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I'm going to wait a minute and see if anybody pops on. Happy end of month. Last day of November. Can you believe it? Pretty crazy. We have changed around my office a little bit, as you can probably tell. I'm not sure if I'm liking it yet, but that is where we're at. So, wanted to come on here. First things first, like I said, happy end of month. Just a little side note for you. If the last day of the month is the one day you're working the hardest out of the entire month, you're doing it wrong. Okay, just gonna throw that out there. If the last day of the month is the day of the month that you work the hardest, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And what you do sets your team up as well. So, just a little side note. But I wanted to come on here and talk to y'all about World Tour. So this has been mentioned many, many times. The event is coming up in February, which seems like a long way away, but we'll be here before we know it, especially with the holidays. And I just wanted to talk to y'all about what it is, what happens, what to expect, all of those things. So this year, Cincy is doing it in person, yay, and a virtual option. They both are $53, regardless of where you go or what you choose. And that includes the full day of the actual event. It comes with a workbook, a lanyard with your name badge, and then 3 bars from the spring and summer catalog that will come out soon after the event. So you get a little exclusive sniff to that, which is exciting. Even if you're virtual, still $53, you still get that little spirit pack, and then you get access to all of the trainings online if you can't make it in person. Now, what is World Tour? Today I'm going to be talking to y'all mostly about the in-person event, because before COVID, that's all it was. There was never a virtual option. You either went or you didn't. Obviously, COVID has changed a lot of things, and now we have that option, which is great, but I can tell you from personal experience from attending an event in person and attending a virtual event, it's not the same. It's not comparable. I know Cincy does their hardest and their best to still make it fun and eventful and something for people to look forward to, but it's just not the same. So I will tell you, if you have the option to go in person, if you feel comfortable enough to go in person, if you can make it work, which everyone can if they make a plan, to go in person, because it is something that is it's priceless. It's an experience, okay? And it's hard to explain it unless you've experienced it, so I'm still going to do my best. But y'all have to give me the grace with that, because it really is experiencing what Cincy has to offer and what Cincy's all about. So what is it? World Tour is pretty much a tour that home office technically does, where they go to many different cities. I don't even know how many they're going to this year, but they go to many different cities. People from home office do some trainings. They usually have some type of breakout or trainings from consultants, some of the best in our business. It's an in-person event that gives you time to, oh my gosh, Jessica, I was going to message you about it. I'm so glad you signed up. Jessica just joined what is today? 3 days ago, and she's already signed up. So that's awesome. I'm so excited. But it is an in-person event where home office trains, some of the highest consultants in our business train. You get to meet people. You get to meet people on your team. You get to meet people who are not on your team, and you get to experience what there is. Right? Because we, Simply Grace and Grit, are a very small part of Cincy. And so really, even just to get out of our little team and experience what everyone else is doing, and you really realize how awesome we are, I'm just saying, and how awesome our leaders are and our upline is business changing. It really is. So yeah, they go to so many different cities. It's a one-day event. It's usually from like 8 to 5, your typical. You'll have your lunch break, which is always crazy. And it is packed full. I promise you, you will be exhausted, especially if you're an introvert. And I didn't think I was an introvert until I went to my first world tour, and I was exhausted after. Exhausted. And I didn't even know anybody then. So make sure you plan for that too. I know some of y'all are driving, you know, a few hours to the closest place. I personally am flying to North Carolina. So Jessica, I will see you there. I am flying to Raleigh because it was actually cheaper for me to fly to Raleigh and stay with my parents and attend the event and come back, fly in Friday, leave Sunday, than it would be to drive 5 hours to Boston, Massachusetts and get a hotel, and then drive back. So I will be in Raleigh, North Carolina. That is obviously where a lot of our team is, not all of them, but a lot of our team, my upline's there. So I'm super excited to be in Raleigh too. My first world tour was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the only person that I had ever met in person was my sponsor. Okay, so a lot of you probably don't know her, but I went to college with her, and she was the only one I knew. I'm trying to remember if she went. And I can't even remember if she went, to be honest with you. I'd have to look at the picture because I have no memory. Fun fact. But if I knew anyone, it was only her. I didn't know my director. I didn't know any of my teammates at the time. I didn't know my upline. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. I lived in Georgia. So me, Eric, and the boys, we drove to North Carolina, stayed with my sister. I went by myself, and the boys stayed with Tracy and Marcus and Tinley. And that is when they announced that there was going to be a trip to Mexico for incentive. And I was like, I'm going on that trip. I've always wanted to go to Mexico. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. And I earned Mexico for one as a star consultant. All of that happened at World Tour, okay? So just know that you're going to see a lot of things. You're going to see a lot of possibilities. It may shift your mindset if you have an open mind. If you're going to go and you're going to be closed-minded and you're going to be judgmental, then you're probably not going to get a whole lot out of it. But if you go with an open mind and willing to learn and willing to, meet new people, you're going to have so much fun. Ashland's also going to Raleigh. So excited. Yay. I know a lot of y'all are going to Raleigh, so I'm excited to see you. But I just encourage you that if you are close enough and you can make it work, which like I said, anyone really can, you just have to plan for it, to go in person. Because this is the first in-person Cincy-wide event that they are offering since COVID. So we did have our SSD Summit a few months ago, but that was like not even 100 people. So there's a few things about World Tour. It can sell out. My personal opinion is I don't think it will, but you cannot mark my words there. Do not quote me. But Raleigh is known to sell out. In the past, it usually sells out within a few days, but because of the virtual option, I think that's why we're still open. But if that option sells out, then you can't go. Okay, so if you're thinking about it, go ahead and do it. If you end up signing up for somewhere and say you get sick or your family gets sick, or you, I don't know exactly what the fine print is, but you can switch your registration from in-person to virtual, okay? So that's another thing for you to keep in mind. So if you're on the fence, regardless, it's going to cost you the same. You might as well go ahead and sign up for the location that you want to go to. All of that information is on the events tab, okay? So where, when, the schedule, all the fine print, all of that is on the events tab. Now you're going to see all of the options of World Tour. Why? Because a lot of people will travel to go to different World Tours. But you need to find your city and register for the one that has your city listed or the virtual option. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes over here. So yeah, a lot can happen at World Tour. Like I said, it's a time to meet your teamies, meet home office. You're going to have general sessions with home office. They're probably going to give us some sneak peeks of things. And then you're just going to get to experience what Scentsy is all about. It will 100% change your business if you allow it to. Like I said, you have to go in with an open mind. And be excited, guys. We're slowly getting back to real world, right? Real life with what's going on. So I'm excited to see everyone in person, and just know that this is not something that Scentsy even has to offer, right? We have our SFR, which is our big convention, Scentsy Family Reunion, in June this year. Usually it's in July. But they also offer this for like a midway point for all of us to get together. And it's a great way to also meet other consultants in your area that aren't on our team, because we know that that could be helpful in the long run, right? Say we need something and you've made a contact with someone that can help you in the long run. So regardless of if you're in person or virtual, I definitely will urge you to go in person because it's going to be a totally different experience. But regardless, go to one. Go to one, because they're going to have, from my understanding, the same trainings that are in person, they're going to have on the workstation too for your virtual. So, because the people that they're having have to do both. So yeah, I think that's all I had. If you have any questions about World Tour, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. I have gone to Charlotte. We went to the one in Orlando, and then I went to the one in Raleigh. So I've been to 3, which is crazy. But just know it's for all titles, certified all the way to SSD, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. So y'all have any questions? Yes, you can bring a guest if you want. I'm pretty sure you have been able to in the past. Let me see real quick. You should be able to bring a guest. I don't know if there's a max. I know they have to be like, I think it's 18 or older. But all of that should be in the description of the event too. But yes, I'm pretty sure you can bring a guest. Let's see. Oh, last thing. I'm glad you asked that. The other thing about this year, the theme is build. So build yourself, build your business, build your future. And I love that, because that's what we're all about. You know, we're not, especially in Simply Grace and Grit, we're all about building and continuing to move on and forward. So Scentsy has shirts for sale that you can wear, or we are also doing a group shirt with all the SSDs in our group that you can purchase through Expertise, and I will post that once it's available. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.